and welcome once again to my channel, Grey Owl Mindset Mentor. This is the channel which is devoted to brand new entrepreneurs. My name is Ian Michael Pankhurst and I am your host. Today's video is going to be about the most important aspect of your future business. It's basically how to sell your products on the internet. First, we need to look at exactly what selling is, what makes a successful salesperson. Perhaps the best way to do this is to say what it's not, contrary to what a lot of people may believe. It's not the ability to have the gift of the gab. That's not it. It's not having a dynamic or singing or dancing personality. It's not about persuading people to buy things they don't want, they don't need, or they can't afford. And it's certainly not about being economical with the truth. By that I mean telling the odd porky or two, if you know what I mean. And it certainly is not about learning high pressure selling techniques. In reality, this definition, whatever you want to call it, nothing could be further from the truth. And I say this as someone who has spent over 50 years in the arena of selling, as a salesperson, as a sales manager, as a sales director, and as a recruiter and training of salespeople. It's a subject which, if you like, is my passion. It's something that I never stop learning, and it's something which I am very enthusiastic about. Okay, let me tell you what I believe selling is really what it's all about. Selling is about helping people find solutions to problems they may have in their lives, to influence people with positivity, enthusiasm, and integrity. It's simple, but that's really what it's all about. Now, these are not so much techniques, it's really more of a mindset, isn't it? It's a mindset that if you're going to be in selling, you're going to be successful in selling, you need to know what it's all about. And I call that mindset. Now, for this video to be meaningful, we're going to have to establish the different types of selling for different products. And products fall into two main categories. They are tangible products or non-tangible products. A tangible product can be best described as something that you can see, something you can feel, something you can touch, something which has body to it. A non-tangible is something that you can't see, you can't feel, and you can't touch. And this is the type of selling that we're going to cover in this video. Now, there are different skills for two different types of selling. The tangible one, there's a whole different skill base required for that, and I will be going into that in later videos. But as I say, for this one, we're going to concentrate on non-tangibles. This is the business that I'm in. Well, I suppose I ought to give you an idea of what I mean for my particular intangible product. I sell information. So what are the benefits of a non-tangible product as opposed to a tangible product? Well, there are a number of reasons. I think the first reason is that with a non-tangible product, you don't have to have the extra worry, expense about maintaining a stock. You don't have a stock room, you don't have stock deliveries, you don't have stock inventory, you have none of these things which in fact are necessary to conduct a successful business. Selling non-tangible is the most rewarding type of selling you can go into. The profit margins are higher, the competition is lower. Now, selling is a process, the same as buying is a process. And the two, they're very much interlinked and rely upon each other. So we have to understand the selling process, and then subsequently the buying process. Selling is having the right product to the right people at the right time. Now, if that seems an oversimplification, it's not, because it literally is that simple. So what is the right product? Well, I have done videos before on how to choose your video, so I'm certainly not going to go over all ground. I have got a video up there somewhere. If you want to find it, it will help you perhaps choose the right product. But what I can do, I can just put in a nutshell what constitutes a good product and how you will determine whether it's a good product or not. A good product is something which has benefits to the buyer. Forget the profit it has to you, forget how it looks. Does it have benefits? And here we're going to use the word tangible in a slightly different way. That must have provable, tangible benefits to the prospect. And if you've got that, one of the ways you can do it is to draw a list, have your product and say, well, if people buy this, what are they going to gain? Now, the next stage in the process is, how do we identify the people that are going to buy this product? And this is probably the main area that people in selling, in marketing, seem to overlook or don't take as serious as they should. You see, to call a spade, you can have the best product in the world. I mean, it can be like out of this world. But if nobody's going to buy it, what good is there in having it? So that's why I stress the importance of people are very much the key part to the buying process. And this is probably one of the little mistakes we can make when we use the internet as a selling platform. We forget that the other end is a human being. Now we're coming to what I call the nitty-gritty of the whole selling scenario. How do we get these prospects? Because prospecting is really the key to successful selling. The selling bit is the easy bit, but it's only easy if we go back to the basics. We're going to be able to find prospects before they really themselves have even thought about buying our particular product. And this is why non-tangible product is so challenging, because what we're actually doing, we're actually creating our own market. If nothing else comes from this short video, the one thing I want you to understand fully is that if you're going to devote time and effort in studying what becomes a successful salesperson, forget the old cliches about the gift of the gab, etc. That doesn't work today, particularly on the internet. Because on the internet, you see, you're getting no feedback. In the old days when I was selling on the road, it was easier. I've got to be honest with you, today's selling is far more difficult. It takes far more understanding and credibility. Okay, listen, that really, I suppose I could call part one of what is selling all about. Now I say it's part one because I am going to be following this video up with a part two, because it is something which you just can't gloss over, and because it's such an important aspect of your future business, I don't want to shortchange you in any way, shape or form. So I'm going to ask you to do something for me. I'm going to ask you to ask yourself two questions. Did I find this video useful? Did this open my mind a little bit about how I should approach selling? Because if it did, I think you're more likely to come back and say, well, I'd like to know more. So that's one of the reasons why I would like you to subscribe to my channel and to give me a thumbs up. Okay, now the other thing that you could do for me as well in the sharing arena, probably during your everyday life, you obviously mix with people, you mix with family, you mix with friends, you mix with work colleagues. And I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of people who are perhaps thinking along similar lines to yourself. Yeah, I wouldn't mind going into business for myself, but I don't know, it's a bit of a gamble, and it's a subject which does crop up. I don't want you to sell me, but what I do want you to do is to say to people something along the lines, look, I tell you, I found a channel on YouTube, which the guy's getting on in years, I must be honest, but he seems to know what he's talking about. And I think it might be worth giving him a little look to see what he's saying, to see if it will help you in any way, shape or form, firm up, or even give you inspiration to start it. And that is the way that this channel is going to spread. It's going to spread because people are going to be using people as an introduction. I'm going to end on the note of saying you can succeed in being a salesperson and successful in business once you get the right knowledge, and knowledge is the key to everything. So as a knowledge sharer, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Thank you in advance for subscribing and all these gentle little hints you may like to put around about who should watch my channel. And I'm going to look forward to seeing you in a very short time. Thank you for watching. Wish you success. Have a good week. Thank you. Goodbye.